Hello, everyone. This is the Double Action Gaming Podcast, bringing you video game news, reviews, and speculations from a working class perspective. With the goal of helping you make the most of your gaming dollar, I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm honored you would join me today. Still ain't got that memorized on paper. I've got a fantastic guest today. I am joined by none other than Ratchet Gaming.
Hello, hello.
This man is the myth, the legend, because no one's seen him because all he ever does is work. So,
Pretty much.
pretty much. All right, so today we're going to talk about the Xbox Showcase. I was a little bit behind, fell on a bad day. I was not prepared to go over that, so I went ahead and had the podcast, and I decided to do it this week. It was actually a pretty good showing for Microsoft. I thought it was pretty good. Now you haven't watched it, have you, Ratchet?
I've not.
You have not watched it. Okay, so I've got to do. I completely forgot to do this because I can do this. I can see. Let me see if my computer can handle this. That way you can stay live on the Discord. Or Ratchet. That is for you if you'll look at the Discord. That way you're not trying to keep up with the stream.
I'm in the live thing.
Live thing? Okay. All right. So, first thing we're going to talk about, we can't cover all the games, of course, so we're just going to pick a select few that we thought were worth a mention. And the first one we're going to talk about is Hollow Knight. Silk Song. Now, did you play the original Hollow Knight?
I do not.
It's
I
actually
never heard of it until you mentioned it.
It's actually pretty good. So, Hollow Knight is a 2D side scroller where you play an insectoid knight who must travel across a plague-ridden land in order to do a whole lot of stuff that I can't remember. It's actually very, very deep. The lore is incredible. The world building is fantastic. That's what made Hollow Knight such a memorable game, is the world building. It's very akin to Dark Souls, except it's 2D. Oh, don't you do this to me, YouTube. I hate you so much right now. God dang it, YouTube.
Somebody's got to buy YouTube bread.
Somebody's got. But this game looks a lot more fast, a lot more fluid. So the original game, you can get a lot of abilities. But this game looks like you have a ton of just super mobile moves. You play as Hornet, which was a princess in the original game that you fought against. You never killed her. But
well, that's neat. Bringing back a returning villain to play as now.
Super cool. I think eventually you became allies. I can't remember. It's been so long since I played Hollow Knight.
Choose your Vegeta.
She's your Vegeta. What is Big Bang, I guess. I don't know, but it does. It looks very fast, very fluid. I'm actually pretty excited about this one.
Yeah, very nice for a 2D side scroller.
It does. It looks fantastic, and it plays so good. The original Hollow Knight plays great. Bosses are a big thing in that. You play against a lot of insect bosses, and they're very, very good. Very, very well done.
It looks the art style looks similar to the Liar Prince and the Liar. What I'm spacing on the name of it now. The Blind Prince and the Liar
Princess. Yeah, a little less sketchy. It's like sketch drawn, but yes, definitely the art style is similar, and it's really good. It's very dark. It's very gloomy. If you do get a chance, give Hollow Knight a try. It is a fantastic game. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. But this game, I think, is what I think the industry needs right now for the next generation. Is they need these indie games to kind of to push the envelope a little bit. I think this is a game, unfortunately, that you could play on PS4. You know, I don't think it's technically demanding in any way, but if you were to tell people who are fans of Hollow Knight, hey, this is only coming out on next gen. It'd be a nasty, dirty way to do it, but they could do it that way because I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah,
You know.
it would be one of those games I would definitely check out if I had the console and everything that could play it.
Mm-hmm. I do. I think this is a neat little game, and anybody who hasn't heard of it should definitely look up Hollow Knight. Maybe wait for it to be on sale if you're not into 2D side scrollers. If 2D side scrollers are your thing, go ahead and just pick it up. If it's $20, even 30, it's definitely worth your time. 100% worth your
Now,
time.
now I will say I think it would be one of those that would be next gen exclusive if they didn't have all the problems with these new generation consoles and the availability.
That's true, especially with Sony.
That's
I don't think Xbox having that much trouble, are they?
Xbox. I'm not sure about.
I don't think they
I'm
are.
assuming they were in line with the PS5s, but they have so many weird names for the Xboxes now. I don't even know which one the new one is.
You know, if you were to tell me a last gen Xbox, I wouldn't know the difference.
Exactly.
Just being straight up.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because I was about to mention it comes out for the Xbox, and then I thought about which one is the current gen. I didn't know which one it was, so I just shut my mouth. It is.
I know the Xbox and the Xbox 360.
That's it. That's it.
Xbox One.
If so?
That's it.
Yeah. But what came after that? Was it the Xbox S?
The Xbox One and X.
I think it was. I think it was S, and then they released the Pro, which was the Series X, and now we're at the Xbox.
Listen, everybody, just buy a PC.
Yeah, that's what I did. I got a new one, so we'll see. We'll see how this one goes.
Hello, Donovan, in the chat.
My man,
Welcome.
Donovan, what is up? Glad to see you here, Donovan. Appreciate you being here. All right. Moving on to the next game. This one is wacky. This one's wild. I think this is right up your alley. This one is High on Life.
Oh, boy.
Selling humans as drugs. You're the only one that can stop them. Realize we're gonna have to take out the entire alien drug cartel.
This is so wacky.
You're just gonna leave me here in what, space?
Everybody lives in space, including you. All right, you're a bounty
Talking
hunter now.
guns.
You gotta help me rescue my
It's
friends.
it's a total ripoff, but I love it because they're so creative.
This is going to be the new stuff in COD now.
This is gonna be the new what?
Because it camouflages in COD.
Yeah, it will. No more Rick and Morty. We're gonna have this game.
That's one of my children. They die fast. Don't worry, it's easy to make more.
That's so cool.
Some of these guns remind me of Ratchet and Clank.
I mean, they're wildly creative, but at the same time, I love how they talk to you.
Hey there, I'm Knifey.
Yeah.
Stab. Yes, more. I need more stabbing.
And just the wacky wildness of everything in here. Freaking brawling teddy bears. And Tumor Boy over here.
I would 100% play and stream that game.
I think it'll be an easy sell.
If it has co-op, is it a multiplayer?
I do not believe so. They did not say
Ah,
anything about multiplayer, which is a real shame.
That is a missed opportunity if there's no multiplayer.
They really should have multiplayer with that game, just because you can bounce the humor off of each other, because it looks hilarious. It really reminds me, I know it's going to get a lot of comparison to the Outer Wilds, but you remember Duke Nukem?
Mm. Yes.
It reminds me so much of just crass, dirty, raunchy Duke Nukem humor.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I didn't think about that, but I can see that now.
Yeah, I think that's what he's leaning into. It's just Duke Nukem in space. That's all it is. I'm sure there'll be tons of dick jokes that they didn't mention in the commercial.
Ratchet and Clank for adults.
Right. If they would have slapped Insomniac, like if Insomniac was not a Sony studio, and they would have slapped Insomniac on there, it would have been an instant buy. 100%.
It would.
Oh man, but it does. I like the way the guns talk to you. They ripped that off of Cyberpunk 2077. Johnny Silverhand's gun talked to him, and it was like broken and overpowered. I think it was Johnny's gun. Had a little bullet or a triangle or something that was a hologram above it, and it talked to you, which was everybody loved the gun. But that I feel like that's what they're stealing from. But this time you have different personalities. Like this guy who's like a redneck alcoholic father is like, my children die fast. They die real fast, but it's okay. I can make more. And then it's so funny.
Yeah, I think since they took the concept of a talking gun, but they put their own twist on it. So I can appreciate that. Like you said, with the personalities, different guns, different things like that. I can see past like taking the idea or running with it.
As long as you make it unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm really curious. We saw 4 guns. There's the blue one, the fish one, the daddy one, and the mama crystal one. You talk about an easy DLC sell for this game.
Honestly.
I mean, you can get this new gun. Yeah.
Let's face it, there's going to be a hentai gun at this game at some point. you know there's going to be.
I mean, is there really any other choice after what we've been shown?
Do you remember the in Ratchet and Clank, there were guns that turned like the enemies into sheep and ducks and stuff?
Yeah.
They're just going to turn them into like Donovan's busty ninja girl.
Oh my god, Donovan's ninja girl in the game.
That's all it's going to do.
I would like it.
People would pay $4.99 for that DLC pack.
Oh, you know they would, especially.
That's all it's in it.
I could see it now. The gun would have cat ears and speak bad Japanese. They'd be like,
not even like good bad Japanese. It would be like broken, like horrid Japanese. That was obviously done by a non-Japanese person.
Some Englandese thrown in there with some bunny or some cat ears. I mean, if I was a desperate little hentai loving weeb, I would pay $4.90. That's marketing.
There's no need to speak in the third person on that.
Yeah, I'm talking about you. Okay, I don't look at that stuff. That's not for me. I'm married, but I really like the idea of being able to broaden the amount of guns, and especially I thought about this, if they have their own story.
Yeah.
That would be super cool. Like you have a side quest where you explore the personality of this gun.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be freaking cool. I think that now they could do it well and they could do it bad. If they did like, oh, we'll shoot this many enemies and complete this many quests, I'd be like, this is lame.
Yeah. I think it would be funny. I don't know what made me think of this, but if there's a side quest to maybe unlock a few guns, and it was like a horrid backstory of like this gun's wife or some crap that she was taken, and just completely rip off Mario. Just completely. Like, oh, sorry, she's in a different castle.
I mean,
or did a different thing.
Easier sell is a Django gun. He took his wife? Yeah. I like the way you die, boy. I mean, get Jamie Foxx in there. Yes.
Back of the gun has a cigar sticking out of a little hat and some dark glasses.
Heck yeah, that would be awesome.
If they could get Jamie Foxx to voice that,
oh man,
they would sell so many.
100%. They would make so much money off that. God, we should
game right there.
We should be in marketing. I don't understand why we're not.
We really should.
We really should. We could work for EA and sell bullets so you could actually play the game. All right, Donovan mentioned in chat, I watched the Uncharted movie today. Donovan, let me know. Let me know, was it good? Because I've heard nothing but horrible things about the Uncharted movie.
I've heard absolutely nothing except they spent most of their budget on the plane cargo scene falling through the sky.
From what I understand, it was very poorly cast. Which I don't know. I don't know. I've not seen it. I'm not going to form an opinion on it because I have not seen it. But Donovan, you have great taste. So I would love to hear your opinion. All right. Now, next game we're going to look at is a game that I have really wanted to play, but I haven't forked over the money for it. And I've got to wait until this commercial's over before I show my freaking screen. God dang it, YouTube. Oh,
YouTube rating.
while we're here, let's talk about maybe you're watching this and this is just not your kind of content. You want something more action-packed. You want something faster-paced. You want something with lots of profanity and maybe some bunny girls. Head on over to Ratchet Gaming's channel. You can get all the bunny ladies that you can handle. It'll make your stomach turn. You'll probably wonder if you had kids in the span of 5 seconds. Bunny girls.
There you go. Promoting bunny girls since 1995 on Ratchet.
You will know him by his very cultural and appropriate YouTube picture. I guess that's what you call it. Avatar? Does he call it Avatar?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Okay.
I would consider it an avatar.
I would consider it an Avatar. Donovan said, and it's an amazing movie, and I just got the Ultra 4K Blu-ray Steelbook 1080p Sony Google Chrome Steel Edition. That's incredible, Donovan.
If you don't have like a 5-foot wide lazy boy to watch this stuff in, I will be surprised.
I'd say Donovan has like a water recliner. Because he's so old school.
Yeah.
He really is. He's so old school, and I love that about him. He's probably got like a water recliner. I could totally see that. All right, so this next game, now that YouTube's done being a prick, is a game that I've always wanted to play the first one, and I never forked over the money for it because I've always had too big a backlog. But this is the sequel to Plague's Tale: Innocence. Come on. I can find the sweet spot for that volume. So what this is this follows a French noble family. You have a younger brother named Hugo. Hugo, you play as Amicia, I believe that's what it's called. And your brother has a very, we'll call it a deadly illness passed down from a noble bloodline. Okay. They call it like a black curse. Yeah, sort of like that. In the first game, you're sent finding a cure for your brother. Your parents look for a cure, and unfortunately, the other noble lords believe that this curse can give them power, incredible power, and so they try to capture your brother, and it causes you all kinds of problems. So that's why they're being hunted down, is they want this girl's little brother.
That's an interesting twist on it.
Very interesting twist. Now, this is set during the 16th century in France during the Black Plague. So rats play a big part in this. Now, heads up, we're about to go into a little spoiler territory here for real quick. Turns out the curse that Hugo has allows him to control the rats. And
that's interesting.
You'll kind of see it at the end. So I'm kind of curious. Go ahead.
I was going to say that's very French of him.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm very curious as to see. I think the first game was all about innocence lost. You know, because you had to kill people. I think Hugo at the end of that game, spoilers, watch out, might have killed somebody. And so he kind of lost his innocence from it. It just seems like a very well done story. I really like the way the world looks. I like this idea of a supernatural curse in a real world setting. And I really like the fact that it deals with plagues and disease. It makes it feel very grounded and real.
Yeah, and the fact it's, like you said, it's its own real world stuff this adds a lot to it.
Mm-hmm. I do. I actually had to read a little bit about the story, and it turns out there's a ton of characters in here, and I know me and you both love well done characters, and the characters, from what I read, I was a little thrown off by one or two, but most of them seem very well thought out and interesting. Like your parents, they're both nobles, and they study alchemy to try to find a cure for Hugo. One of them dies from the main villain. So there is some emotional impact there. So they utilize characters, and there's, I think, 7 in total, including you and your brother. So it's definitely a game. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's awesome. I like like you said, well thought out characters and well designed characters add so much to a game. Even if they're just side quest stuff, that's not the main story.
Yeah.
They incorporate that if they do it well enough to where it's part of the main story, or it's a reference to something later in the story that can help you out.
And I feel like that's
well done. Side characters and characters are just great.
I feel like that's what made, for me, Nier Automata, and for a lot of people, The Witcher 3. That's what made it so good. The Witcher 3 had some great side characters, but Nier Automata, some of the robots that I remember were so human that they just still stick in my mind. The Blue Racer.
Yeah.
I remember him vividly and being like, man, you've finally been beat. And then what does he do? Just the clown that wanted to do the peace march. And the first time you fought the level 2 robots, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That's some of the most memorable side characters that I remember in any game.
I remember the ones at the beach. Sorry, the desert. Out in the desert,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
the water hall.
Mm-hmm.
And the E model you found inside one of the big abandoned parking garages.
Yeah. I forgot about
those are the ones that stick out in my mind. And then the operator that 9S always talked to, like 916, I cannot remember her name.
610?
Yeah,
or 60. 60. Operator 60.
Okay.
Oh my God, I forgot about her.
Those are the 3 that really stick out in my mind.
That Operator 60 was, man, ouch. Well, we won't spoil anything for that one, but man, yeah.
It's a great, Nier Automata is a great game. If you've not played it, I cannot recommend enough for you to play it. I believe it is even on, or has been on, some of the Xbox Pass stuff. So you might be able to play it for free.
I don't know. It might definitely, if you haven't played Nier Automata, it is easily, in my opinion, one of the greatest games of all time. And you need to pick it up.
Even if it's $20, $30, still could not recommend it enough.
I'd pay 40.
Amazing.
100%. 100% play 40. If nothing else, because you'll get to look at some smut.
Well, it's a Yoko Taro game.
Of
it's
course.
Cultured too much.
It's cultured. There's nothing too revealing in the game, but at the same time, that's a huge selling point for a lot of people. So,
It definitely helped it get it out there and get the marketing. It really helped with the marketing a lot.
Don't search. If you are at work, do not search for 2B or A2. Probably not even 9S.
Just type in Nier Automata. You can find some very PG sales art, we'll say.
Yeah, sales.
That's from like some cover art that's official.
Yeah, nothing that Yoko Taro would disapprove of.
And you might even heard about the lady that dressed up as 2B so she could be internet famous. She's like a cosplayer, e-thought, whatever she was.
No, I haven't heard of this.
Went in full dress to a KFC and got a million different pictures of people. And Yoko Taro, I don't know how Twitter works, but she tagged him in Twitter or tweeted at him or whatever else, and he responded to her. And it was a whole thing for a while.
Talking about the lady in Russia?
It might have been Russia. I don't remember.
I think it was Russia, because she pulled it off perfectly.
She looked exactly like 2B.
So good. It definitely looked that one up. I think it was 2B in Russia. 2B cosplay in Russia. I mean, she to a T.
You could probably just Google 2B at KFC.
Yeah, that'd probably show it up too. Super good. Super good. It's funny. We always come back to Nier Automata. To be or not to be? Definitely to be. Definitely to be.
9S best character in the game, though. Just saying.
Oh, that's pretty tough. I don't know.
At the very least, 9S did nothing wrong.
Whoa now. Whoa now.
All I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. All right, we're rabbit trail.
Yeah. Back to the actual game we're gonna play, or we're talking about. The next game, I'm not gonna lie, this game really kind of took me by surprise with how stupidly it's named. If I can get YouTube to quit being dumb here. Very interesting name. I actually read about this and it sounds pretty darn cool. But at the same time, when you hear something presented to you in a sales pitch, it's going to be a lot different from, what you actually expect. God dang it, YouTube. I'm going to have to get premium. Luckily, I can
Get premium, have a million tabs set up with the exact timestamps for each game. So the ads are already gone.
See, I thought about doing that, but I wasn't sure. Is this it? Oh, yeah. I went too far, but we're gonna talk about this game. This game looked incredible.
Oh my goodness!
Yes. It smells like heroin addiction and father abuse. Look how cool this freaking looks.
This is 100% like we spoke of previously. Inspired by the GTA 5 races.
100%. But it looks so good.
Yeah, it's like GTA 5 racing, but quality racing, and it actually looks good.
It does. This blew me away. I don't like racing games, and I've never played a Forza game, but I really want to play this.
I know what you're going to say, or what the chat might say. It's Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels have always had tracks. But this is like beyond at least what I know of Hot Wheels tracks.
Oh, yeah. This is well above and beyond anything that you could ever make with a Hot Wheels set. But holy crap, that blew me away. Seeing that
looks nice.
That was incredible.
That looks like you get online with a bunch of buddies and just mess around on type game.
Yeah, just play around on it. That was up to that point. I hadn't really had anything that I was like, whoa, that looks incredible. But that was jaw dropping. I was stunned at how freaking cool that looked. And
it's also one of those where if you're seriously racing and you get nudged, I don't know how it will work in that game, but at least in GTA, if you get nudged or have any little hiccup while you're upside down, gravity takes over.
Oh God! Oh, I didn't even think about that.
So you might get a little pissy if you're like a hardcore racer.
Yeah, you're in
racing game person, and you're trying to win. But I would 100% see myself having fun with that with some people I know.
Oh my God, yeah.
Custom games and just bullying each other.
That would be
almost
so much
like
fun.
It's Mario Kart.
Oh man, what if they did? They had like power-ups and stuff. That'd be crazy.
That would be cool.
That was probably with the punk rock anthem hitting in the background, and then just the super cool tracks and set list and all the different vehicles. I think that was probably not my personal favorite, but if you were to ask me what the coolest looking game was, that was it. 100%.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd say that about a racing game. So I have a PC now. I might have to try this out. I might have to stream it. And if I do, I will let you know if it is good.
I would be 100% down to watch you do a stream on that.
And it releases in 2 days, so we'll just have to wait and see. If you're watching this, let us know in the comments if you played Forza Horizon, if you're excited about this, or if it's just us not understanding how Forza Horizon works. Because I've never played a Forza game. I don't know. So, all right, now going back to the game that I was supposed to show. Stupid YouTube. Now this game, very stupidly named, horribly named, but it's interesting. I think Storm will be very, very interested in this game. I did read about this, and it's pretty cool. It is a Civs game, 100%. Okay, they say it's a lot more open. It's a lot more dynamic. And the thing that they mentioned that I'm not sure how it works is you can actually have a character in the game that you grow. And
Okay, that's different.
and I played a game when I was real little called Majesty, and I think the equivalent of that nowadays is Crusader Kings, I believe. And what I did is I had this knight, and I just took him out and grinded the piss out of some enemies and kept him alive until he was super high level, and he just decimated everyone in the game. I'm not sure if that's what they mean by growing a character, but I'm very interested in actually having people to have in a kingdom. I think that's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
And the awful name, Aura. Why Aura? Aura, Aura. Aura, Aura.
Love. Oh gosh, I like it. It's simple, but it will catch the attention of the smut people,
Yeah.
and they'll think, "Wait a second,"
Oh.
and then they'll say, "Oh, Sims." Yeah, already forgot what it's called, but one of those games, and they'll be like, "Oh, I remember playing this in the Xbox 360 when it was a free game."
Looks up Aura, Aura, finds a video game. Huh, this must be smut. I shall buy this. I could totally see that happening. Doing a bait and switch on. But no, I read about it. It sounds very cool. The thing that is going to be the deal breaker for me with this game, to where either I'm just like, I'm not going to tell you buy this game, buy Civs, is if your person can do incredible things.
Yeah.
If my person can lead an army to absolutely destroy my buddy in multiplayer, heck yeah. That would be incredible.
I would love to see it to where it's not just relying on who has the meta tech tree,
yes,
and the meta cities.
Mm-hmm.
And if you actually had to put strategy into your game, like you can meta game like your technology a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
have a small touch of it. But if you could put strategy into it and actually lead your armies like real time against other players in it,
yes,
that would be amazing.
That would be so good. Now, whether they pull that off is another story, but I would like to see that. I would like to see. I thought about this. I would like to see it like making a Magic the Gathering deck. So you have like your token deck, you have your Beast with Trample deck, you have your like your Lifesteal deck. I would like to see different ways that are all equally effective, where you can be very dynamic with the avenues that you take, and you can change the direction of your empire very quickly. I would love to see that.
Yeah, that was definitely a game to keep an eye on to see how it goes.
Because that's the one thing I don't like about Civs is once you get sucked into a certain path, it's do or die at that point, and at that point you know how it's going to turn out depending on how things are progressing. So it's either you're going to end up with a super long end game. At least what I remember playing Civs, you end up with a super long end game, or it's over before it even begins.
Yeah, pretty much. The Civ 6, it takes forever to play a game. And once you get behind on the tech tree, and another player is ahead of you, it's over. Like you're not going to get caught up. You're not going to really do anything.
There's just no way that you're coming back.
No. They'll just simply kill the AI. They'll leave you for last. You'll make a feeble attempt at trying to win, and they will decimate you because they could have decimated you 50 turns ago.
Mm-hmm. They were just not wasting their time on your little peasant hide.
Right. Or the fact that you're a friend or a player, they'll keep you alive and take the NPCs out first. Whichever. I know Storm would bully Clay and leave like one city left in Civ 6 and then destroy the rest of the NPC villages or cities and come back for Clay at the end.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know you played Civs.
I played Civilization Revolution on the 360, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was fun. Civ 6 is overly complicated.
Oh, really?
By comparison to Civilization Revolution?
Yeah,
it's ridiculously overcomplicated, and the games take so long.
Because I played Revolution too.
No, if you're for that and you like Civ 6, I have nothing against it. I just think it's overly complicated and it just takes too long.
That would be the thing for me is I have like 2 hours a night to play video games.
It would take you like at least 3 days.
There's no way I could dedicate that much time. I got too much going on. But maybe Aura might be strike a better balance. Maybe it'll be more of a grown up, like, hey, we understand you got crap to do. You know, we'll make this quick.
Yeah.
I doubt it though. Definitely want to keep it on as we continue to get information on that. Now, moving on, one thing that I was really impressed by. Now, you never played a Fallout game, have you?
I've not.
Ooh, okay. So you're gonna kind of miss the reference here. Storm, I know, has played a Fallout game, and this is kind of what has me excited. This is Fallout 7. Good this looked. We're returning to Pittsburgh. So, the Pit was a DLC for Fallout 3, where you went and you fought off slavers in Pittsburgh. This time, there is a group of what we call the responders in Fallout 76, and they have set up base in Pittsburgh, and they're getting whooped right now. So they really need a hand, and that's where you come in. You're basically a special task force from the Appalachia unit. Thought the music was so good.
You probably want to be careful playing too much music.
Say what?
You probably want to be careful playing too much of the music.
Oh, yeah. It'll be okay, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm excited to return to the Pit. I really like this idea of you having an agency in the world.
Yeah.
Like you're a special operations unit? That's freaking cool.
You're against the guys you're against look like they're like Mad Max type enemies.
Now that's Fallout. They typically do. They look like Mad Max type enemies. These are a little more so than I remember, but yeah, most of them look like cracked out psychos.
Okay.
Donovan
But the fact you had a
Go ahead.
helicopter and that you're part of an agency like that is very interesting for a end of the world Mad Max vibe type game.
So that's right. You've never played Fallout. So Fallout is the way Fallout usually works is you play a vault dweller, except for the exception of Fallout 2. There might be another one, but I'm not sure. And what a vault is a nuclear bunker. Okay, so you typically emerge from this nuclear bunker 200 years later, 100 years later, after everything's kind of, the radiation's kind of gone away for some of it. And, I think my stream's about to stop.
You are sounding laggy.
Yeah. Hold on. There we go. That might be better. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
That was weird. Okay. At least it didn't go green screen and just completely erase me. Okay. But yeah, usually take place after the irradiation's gone. The water's still irradiated. There's still radiated mutant animals. New Vegas was great. This is not a New Vegas sequel, unfortunately. But this time you emerge from Fallout 76 like right after the bombs dropped. So you're basically trying to set up everything. So there's still some pre-wars, they call it, before the bombs dropped, tech that you can salvage.
Okay.
And so I imagine that's where the helicopter comes from. You just found a air base and you found it. It still works. You might have repaired it a little bit, and that's how that goes. Huh? Something's going on. I'm gonna have to stop streaming on Discord. I feel like that's what's going on. Dang. Sure hope that didn't affect the stream. Donovan said, I would love a mowing simulator game. I am such a boomer. Donovan, there is a mowing simulator game. There is a lawn mowing simulator. Look it up. It's actually free on the PlayStation Plus premium package. Storm mentioned New Vegas, and you're the mailman. Yes, you are the mailman in New Vegas, and you take a kick to the head. Definitely do. I feel like you never played 76, but did you watch it on E3? Have you heard anything about Fallout 76?
No, I know nothing about any of the Fallout
You know
games.
nothing about any of the
Besides,
Fallout games. Okay.
besides, there's a bunch of memes about the power suit and
Yeah.
killing some like really strong enemies, or them killing you, like
Yeah.
some big mutated animals, like big ones.
Oh yeah, the Yalgoi, the red scorpion. The animals are very cool, very well done, but at the same time they're deadly, like super duper deadly. So,
Mm.
if you've never played a Fallout game, I don't feel like 76 is the place to start. And unfortunately, 3 is so old, I don't know if that's the place to start either.
Right.
Honestly, the best place to start is probably 1. 1 was great. And this, I'm talking like 80s. I think it was late 80s, early 90s. Isometric 2D turn-based
Oh
RPG.
damn.
Yeah, it's old, but it was so intelligent with the way it designed your character. So you have a special stats with the strength, perception, endurance, basically RPG stuff, right?
Right.
Let's say you take your intelligence down to 2 in the original Fallout. You literally cannot talk in anything but grunts. When you have a text selection and your intelligence is low enough, you literally go, it's so creative and it's so much fun. And I wish they wouldn't have gone away with that. I wish they had kept that in 3 and 4. But I think
Amazing.
it really gives you the feel for what a Fallout game is. It's wacky, it's wild, but at the same time, there's a very real and harsh post-apocalyptic world that you have to survive in. So,
Right.
and I feel like 3 captured it some, but it doesn't play very well anymore. It's still a great game if you can play through it for the side quests. It's some of the best side quests in the game. There's Herbert, that's the tree that talks. There's the megaton bomb that you can blow up. You can actually detonate a nuclear bomb and destroy an entire city. It is some of the best side quests ever. Fallout 3, 100%.
Awesome.
Check it out. How does it feel to be the bodyguard of Samuel L. Jackson? You know, Donovan, I'm typically not supposed to allowed to talk about work, but I got to tell you, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. You know, Samuel L. Jackson always keeps one eye out, one eye open. Excuse me, one eye open. Oh, one eye open. You'll get the reference because you know the movies. But yeah, you know, it's something that I take very seriously. It's something that I enjoy. It's not easy being Deadpool, you know, not easy. All right, moving on. What is it? I didn't even look at the next game because I had to explain Fallout lore to you. Or
Scorn, I believe.
get better. It is Scorn. Scorn's interesting. I don't understand why you would reveal a game and then not have anything about it online.
Right.
I cannot find anything on this game. Not a thing. Other than that you're like a skinless meat bag with an umbilical cord weapon. I mean, it looks cool. I've never heard
it.
Go ahead.
The way you're describing it makes it almost sound like a Doom game from a demon's perspective.
That's what it kind of. Yeah, that's kind of how I would describe it. I don't know where my sound is, but god dang, it's very dark. It's very gruesome looking, I guess you'd say. But I don't understand anything about this game other than it looks pretty cool. I really like the art design. I really like the world. I think the monsters look like a strange hentai, but they are very cool. And you can't see this right now, can you?
I'm watching on your stream.
Okay.
I don't have any audio. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know where my audio went either. I don't know what happened. That was weird.
No, I didn't want to reverberate.
Oh, you're talking about your personal audio.
Yeah.
I gotcha. But yeah, Scorn looked interesting. Now
Some of these weapon designs are pretty darn cool looking.
They do look really cool. But how
long... things are very hentai looking though.
They do. They look.
There's a lot of tentacles.
I was really shocked at how many tentacles came out and tried to touch me. Really didn't understand why that was necessary, but more power to the guys.
It looks like it was made in Tokyo, Japan.
But I don't think it is. I don't know the developer. Like I said, I could find nothing on this game. Like, what is this story about? I don't know. Where are you, and what are you doing? I don't know. It just says this is a game set in a world inspired by H.G. Geiger.
Oh, Geiger?
Geiger. Like the counter, but it looks neat. One thing I will say is you don't see many single player first person shooters anymore. So
it's a first person shooter biopunk survival horror adventure game.
kind of stupid genre is biopunk.
I don't know what biopunk is.
I don't. Why can't you just say demon? Biopunk. What the crap? But
biopunk is a subgenre of science fiction that focuses on biotechnology. It is a derivative from cyberpunk, but focuses on the implication of biotech rather than mechanical cyberware. So there's not robots going to attack you. There's people that are kind of cyborgs that will attack you.
So you're saying this is the GMO Cyberpunk 2077?
Kinda.
Yeah. So we just spray everything with Roundup for 20 more years, and all the little hippies are like, "Oh, it's gonna destroy everything!" Ah! And then we turn into monsters, and we have umbilical cords that we rip out of our stomachs when we wake up.
Yeah, it's all biotechnical stuff. It's an interesting premise, but like you said, there's nothing on it. They need to release more about it. And the way it was introduced makes it almost look like an Aliens movie sequel.
Yeah. But there's not, like, if you're going to show me a teaser and it comes out in October of this year, if it's going to come out in October, you got to give me something else if you want me to be interested in this game.
Yeah, they need, especially on the Xbox showcase, like, that was the time to drop your trailer that's really going to get people hooked.
I mean, the trailer was good. That's the thing. The trailer was good. The trailer was good enough to make me look up stuff about the game. But once you try to look for some depth in the imagery, there's nothing there.
Right.
It wasn't the worst reveal that was there, but it's definitely one of the worst games presented as a whole. You got to have more than this.
I don't know if there is.
There's not. I looked and I looked and I looked like I was strained for time.
Not to take up too much time on this, but the HR Geiger guy, he is a Swiss artist known for airbrushing images that blend human physiques with machines. Art style known by mechanical. So he might have come up with the imagery of it, but I don't know if he did the story or not.
No. It's just based off his work. So
right, but what I mean, if someone that didn't know how to do a good story had wrote the story and like the gameplay behind it, you might just be one of those games with like some really cool imagery, but no substance behind it, and that might be one reason why we can't find anything on the game.
Oh man, I didn't even think of that.
Since he's just just an artist, but he's an artist.
Man, that would be so sad to have such a cool looking game and then no story. You're just running around random halls.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or just one of those drawn out, like, lame stories. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're saying.
That would be I would love for this game to prove me wrong and just come out and be a really cool game, a great story. It has the imagery that, like you said, it got you to look up the game and look up history on it. I would love to see this game actually do well and be fun to play.
Yeah. I'd be okay with not so great gameplay as long as there was something to drive me forward. I think that's what Doom does, is the gameplay is so good that it drives you forward. But
Yeah.
no one really talks about the story. If this did the opposite and said, "Hey, we'll give you a good story, and that's going to drive you, and we'll give you okay gameplay," I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it has the imagery. If you give me pretty good story, that's fine.
Yeah.
Gameplay, as long as it does not feel like I'm playing a PS2, we'll be all right.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I'm not sure. I hope they release more up until launch, but at the same time, I'm not holding my breath on that one. Should have had it ready. All right.
Yeah.
Now this next game, I think you'll be more interested in this next game than I am. This one, it really confuses me. This one is a battle royale that has been released on a few other consoles. I can't remember. And it looks neat. If I can find the balance on it. It is a battle royale. It's a melee-focused battle royale. And I looked this up, and it's got a lot of red flags for me. So the way this works is you can play solo or you can play trios. There's no duos. And the combat is melee, but it's a rock, paper, scissors type thing.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, that was a big red flag. It's one thing to be like Hunt Showdown, where like, oh, you have a long range weapon, you need to keep your distance and play with your play style. It's another thing to just have an innate disadvantage against the surviving party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. It looked really cool in the commercial. Like, oh man, this is fast paced, bunch of spinny doodads and little hentai girls. But yeah, the more I read on this, it does not sound fun to play. It said it has 10 million people online. That is not true. It has 6 million downloads. But the peak concurrent users was 120,000 on Steam. So not a lot of people stick around.
Right.
So, yeah, it looked cool until I read into it, and then I was kind of like, I don't really know about this one. What do you think about it after looking at it?
I think it looks like one of those games to where they put more emphasis on trying to make, like they do in mobile games, how they try to have the ads and the gameplay or the animations look really good, but they don't focus on the actual core gameplay of the game.
Yeah.
And for a PvP game to have such a weird fighting system like that's really strange. I'll give them that's unique, but at the same time, like you said, I don't want to be a coin flip if I'm at a disadvantage or have an advantage on the surviving last team. I would rather, as you already said, I have a long range weapon. I need to be long range. Short range, I need to be short range.
Yeah.
I would rather have that type of advantage / disadvantage type system than I would just a spawn in preset.
Yeah, I don't. There are some games where I feel like that's okay. There was that Gundam game that I played a long time ago because I got a really bad hankering to play a mobile suit game. And it was rock, paper, scissors, but it was free.
Right.
If I have to pay money for this, there's no way that I'm going to let this be rock, paper, scissors.
If this game was free, I would try it out and possibly, if it was decent, stream it and play it a little bit. But if the core gameplay being rock, paper, scissors style just progressively was an issue, I could very well see it being, I would just drop it.
Yeah.
And that makes sense with how you say that it has 6 million downloads, but 120,000 consecutive players concurrent. So it seems like a lot of people just did the exact same thing and got pissy about it because it's such a weird mechanic.
Yeah. But, I really like this idea of a melee-focused battle royale, but I don't know what it would look like. Would it look like a Souls game, or would it look like a Dynasty Warriors game?
What was that game that Mio and Storm played? The medieval game.
Medieval game.
Chivalry?
Oh, Chivalry. Chivalry. Oh, man, that's such a good game. Yeah.
I want that. If it's going to be a melee-focused battle royale, I want that.
Man, what if Chivalry did have a battle royale mode?
It would be incredibly popular.
That would be. I mean, they have the duels now.
Yeah, but I mean, just drop you in. You start
Yeah.
with a fist. You find your sword. It's like
Yeah.
all of the battle royales, and you either get bullied by a man with a claymore when you have nothing.
Yeah. That would be really cool if Chivalry had its battle mode. That would be so much fun because Chivalry is a great game. I think it's
Yeah.
something if we should honestly play more because it is so much fun.
I think that's the type of melee battle royale I would want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it would be convoluted if you do like Apex or other games. It's almost like hero shooters.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own abilities. If you
Mm.
just left Chivalry how it is, where you have each weapon has an advantage, disadvantage,
Mm-hmm.
and just throw them in there.
See what happens.
Hey, make the beginning, make your cutscene when you spawn in, like Skyrim, and you're in the back of a wagon.
And you get released from
kicked out the wagon.
First
Make it
one to
like
make it
that.
out. Yeah. Yeah.
And you have like a mob of like 50 people right there, and you can run away to go find a sword, or you can start punching people.
That would be so much. Just bludgeon the entire lobby to death. That would be so great. That'd be actually really like you all start in the center of the circle and you have to venture out. What a clever idea for a battle royale.
Yeah, and you're not parachuting in. You're not doing the stupid. Oh, if I lean at this certain degree for this long and then lean back this way, I'll get to the ground half a second sooner and grab all the guns or the weapons.
Yeah.
You don't have none of that. You get released at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and you just go for it.
Yeah, that would be super because you instant action.
Yeah,
That'd be very, very cool. I like that idea. That's really good.
and I think it would help with queue times too to find another game
Mhm.
because there would be so many dying at the beginning.
Oh yeah, be tons of them dying at the beginning. Yeah, that's a really interesting idea because they just put horses in Chivalry too, and I've been meaning to try it out. They put the Muslim nation in, and they got horses, so
Yeah,
you could even throw that if you have a large enough map in a Chivalry battle royale. That would be very, very cool.
I will.
Storm mentioned For Honor. Storm, we don't talk about that game on this podcast. Valkyrie, poke. Valkyrie, poke again. Poke, 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 poke. I'm dead. Okay, thanks, Valkyrie. I freaking hate you, Storm. Dickbag. He said, oh, that's the other one. Yes, that one. I forget about it too. I forget about Chivalry all the time, and I don't understand why. Because it's a fun game. It is. All right. The next game we're going to talk about, Storm, you will love this game. Perk your ears up and give me your eyes. This will give you big Kingdom Come Deliverance vibes. Pentiment. This game is super interesting. So this is made by Obsidian. Obsidian is the guy who's made Fallout New Vegas. I think they made Pillars for Eternity too. I believe that's what they made. I can't remember. So this game actually has a very interesting story. You play a artist in the 16th century, and your friend has been wrongly accused of murder.
That is a lot of sheep. I'm also behind the streams and watching the video.
We don't talk about the sheep. Oop. I didn't mean to do that. So the way this works is this takes place over a 25-year span.
Damn.
Yeah, and the way the developers said they're going to do it is they're not going to reveal who actually murdered the person. All you know is that it wasn't your friend. They're going to let you accuse whoever you want.
This seems like it would be really fun.
It looks really good. I actually like the art style.
If they go like hardcore with letting you accuse people, like
Yes.
just open up the floodgates on you can accuse anybody and you can amount proof against them, or even just circumstantial proof, or frame people, and just have fun with it. That would be like a million different playthroughs if there's enough NPCs.
So much fun. I thought about this. Like, what was one thing I would want to do in this game? I would want to accuse someone of being a witch. and then burn them at the stake. Like that would.
Listen, if you can float, you're a witch.
If you
If
sink,
you
well,
drown, well, I guess you weren't, but we were safe.
we're all safe. We're all better off without you. And then you get to accuse somebody else.
That'd be great. I know. I would love it though if your alibi's not good enough, like your excuse for doing it, and you couldn't accuse enough or convince enough people,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't believe you afterward, that they threw you in.
Oh my gosh, that'd be
You
awesome.
respawn and you have to restart the entire thing.
Heck yeah. It would. I really love that idea. I think that's the best selling point for me is that it's so open that I get to talk to all of these characters that seem like very real medieval time characters. It's not medieval 16th centuries Renaissance, but it's medieval art. And I can just accuse anybody I want to. That I love that. I think what an interesting and novel idea. It's so simple, but at the same time, I'm like, who else has ever done this?
Yeah, that. Did you imagine that with co-op?
Oh gosh.
Just the banter between the two people playing it would be the funniest bit, because
So
I
good.
feel like that would just turn into you trying to frame each other and
Yeah.
convince all the NPCs.
That's you. Nay, I say, it was the coat. It was him. I swear, I'm innocent.
I swear it was the Jew.
No, it was the Nazi. I swear, I burn him at the stake.
It would be so much fun.
Oh, that's such an easy stream. That would be a blast. Man,
And
I didn't even think
each
about
time
that.
you just pick an NPC you load in as. So you may not even, you can make it where you don't even know who's who.
Oh man.
Your co-op player.
Mm-hmm. What if you could like plant evidence? I didn't even think about that. Well, you could pick something up that makes it look like this guy did it, like a bloody axe.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
It'd be really cool if we could do that.
That would be awesome. I was gonna say something, but I don't think I should. I feel like I'd get in trouble. I'll tell you later. But no, Pentiment seems like a very interesting game with such a simple but creative idea, and I like the art style. I really, really do. I like the fact that it's a book.
Yeah.
Super interesting. All right, now for the most disappointing part of the show. Are you ready? It's not the most disappointing. The most disappointing point was that I thought Minecraft, the Mojang was going to make a new game. They didn't. I was bamboozled. Second most disappointing moment of the show is this. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land. And you unfortunately don't get that reference.
Nope.
That is an Oblivion reference. So this is Bethesda's new game. This is Starfield, a game 25 years in the making.
What?
That's what Todd Howard said. So, it's got to be true. I'm just going to skip forward to the thing that convinced me that this is not going to be any good. So you've never played a Fallout game, unfortunately, but I'm going to let you know this is exactly what a Fallout game looks like, except with a spacesuit. I'm not even kidding.
Is it 25 years in the making because he played Fallout as a kid and he thought, what if there was a spacesuit? What if there were
Yeah.
a spaceship? It was just his imagination the whole time.
I've never played No Man's Sky, but supposedly this is very No Man's Sky in the way that it works, the mining. But I don't know. I think he said it was just like a concept that he had, an idea that he had. I hate the UI. The fact that pops up on my screen with the experience points is so annoying to me. You'll see it in a second.
Okay.
I really hate there's this robot that talks to you, and it's awful. I don't like the robot. And whoever plays this, go ahead.
I was gonna say about the UI, the map and the direction on the bottom left just looks so out of place for some reason. I don't even know why.
It doesn't look
but it
right.
just seems gaudy looking.
It does not look good. And watch. Okay, you're about to see gameplay. Watch how bad this guy is at the game. He's so bad. He's the worst demo that I've possibly ever seen. But yeah, just the colors look really off. I feel like the graphics should be better at this point.
This is like I'm running through a building in Warzone graphics, to be honest.
It's not good. Really not.
That I was not a fan of. Like I said, I'm a little behind on the stream, but the gunplay does not look satisfying.
No, it is not. And I don't know if it's
capacity.
I don't know if it's just the guy playing it awful, but it does look bad. And I'm gonna be honest, the Fallout gunplay was not that good. God, I hate that. Once you see him kill a pirate, watch the XP pop up on the screen. I despise that pops up right in the middle of the screen. Like where my sights are. What are you doing?
Does this shotgun have square shells?
Yes, it does. And do you see how bad his aim was? Why did he fire the second shot? What?
Yeah, the XP popping up in the middle of the screen is annoying.
No joke. All I could think is, what are you doing? The facial
I feel like the
animation.
guns are spacey looking simply for the fact of being spacey looking.
That's it. They make no sense. And they don't look good spacey.
No, they don't. They look like they reskinned just some regular guns to look. All right, we're gonna put this in a box and draw some glowy lines on it to make it look futuristic.
To me, it looks like Toyota brought back Scion, but they came back as an arms company, and they just made box weapons. Forget the box cars. We're going to make box guns. Box pistol, box SMG, box shotgun shells. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I always called Scion shit yawns. I knew a boy that owned one.
Yeah. Oh
shit young guns.
I love it.
Available now.
That's what it. Just everything's so boxy and square. It's
the fact that the shells for the shotgun were square upsets me more than it should have.
There's no reason for it.
No, you could have still had. I don't know. I'm genuinely surprised the barrels for the shotgun were round.
Mm-hmm. I don't. Were they? No, they had a flat top.
No. Oh, I thought they were round.
They had like a beveled outer edge, but the top was completely flat.
Oh gosh. This is almost as square and boxy looking as Minecraft.
I mean, honestly.
But we are not stopping.
And there's I don't know. I'm just gonna stop right there because I don't want to see anymore. I was incredibly disappointed by what I saw.
Yeah, the gunplay, just watching him do that, it just did not look satisfying.
Well, once you get to
it felt like it was super sloppy.
It didn't look smooth. It looked janky. It looked choppy. And then once you get to the facial animations, once you actually see people talking in front of you, look how stiff and unrealistic they look. Like,
yeah,
this is lauded as the next greatest RPG of all time, and you're gonna give me NPCs that look like that? Are you kidding? We have next gen hardware. What do you like? Put some emphasis in your game.
Yeah, that's rough.
And here's the thing. Here's why I really don't like Bethesda. This is the only reason I think NFTs are a good idea, based off what I know about NFTs. Skyrim, in my opinion, is not that good of a game. It's a good game. But the reason Skyrim is a great game is because of the community of modders behind it.
Yeah, the modders added a lot.
Modders added a ton, and it's great stuff. I think modders made that game what it is. They made the community. They got a following. I think that's what made the game. And I think they should have the right to make their content cost money, which is why I think NFTs are great for mods. I think that's a great thing for them. I thought this about Skyrim. I thought this about Fallout 4. I think Bethesda knows that people will buy their game. Yeah, you can join Storm. Join in. I think Bethesda knows that people will buy their game and that they will just mod it and fix everything for them. There's no need to work on this game. The mods will fix it.
I didn't think about that, but I do not disagree with it.
That's what I think happened with Skyrim. I think Skyrim was a really poorly done game. The story was god awful. The gameplay was not that satisfying. All the dungeons felt the same to me. But you had an incredible modding community that made that game what I feel like it is today.
I agree.
Yeah, without the mod community behind that game, it would not have been near as popular as it was.
It's funny you talk about this because I literally got on my soapbox today defending Oblivion at work.
100%. Oblivion is way better.
Like all we need is an HD remake of Oblivion, and that's all you will ever need ever again.
Oh, do you know how much money I would spend for an Oblivion remake? If you started a Kickstarter right now, I've never done a Kickstarter, never put money into it. I would put money. I would put money into an Oblivion remake. If Todd Howard's like, "Hey, we'll do this if you pay for it," okay. Yeah.
I'm game. Can we? About the only thing I would like to see from an Oblivion remake would be like rebuild it in the engine they used for Skyrim, and just let the modders take care of the rest. Everything after the Shivering Isles, just let them do it.
I would honestly like to see them use a different engine.
Well, they've used the same engine for how many games now?
And it's getting old.
Yeah, like graphically, Skyrim is not the best game graphically. Period.
Well,
conversation.
Fallout 4 isn't even the best looking game.
Fallout. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fallout 4 is a good game. Fallout 4 is not a good Fallout game.
It's not bad. It's not a great game. Fallout 3 was superior in almost every way in my mind. Ooh.
To be honest with you, I didn't play Fallout 4 as much as I played Fallout 3.
Yeah, I played the piss out of Fallout 3 because it was good, because the world was great. The world had consequences, and it was real, and it was lived in, and you had agency in it. And Fallout 4 was kind of like, well, Preston Garvey wants me to go save the settlement again, so guess I'm gonna go do that.
Is that where the settlers meme come from?
Say what, Dakota?
Is that where the settlers meme, another settlement needs your help meme came from?
Yes, it came from that game, because every time you turn around, so there's a perk. If you get 6 charisma, you can share resources between your settlements, and eventually I think you get to the point where you share defense between your settlements. I swear to God, I had 120 defense on every single settlement, and that little MFer came up to me every single mission and said, "Another settlement needs your help." Shut up, Preston. Oh my God, I'm trying to find my kid.
I didn't know what it was from.
That's what it's from. He's so annoying.
Can we go into some spoiler territory for Fallout 4? If you haven't played Fallout 4, it's a 7-year-old game. I think came out 2015, 16?
I think so.
Anyway, wasn't there a point in like the quest line where like Preston like would denounce you as a person, but he would still follow your orders because you were the general of the Minutemen?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
What's the sodden point then? Why am I not? Because you remember at the end of Broken Steel in Fallout 3, if you decided you wanted to take the orbital strike onto the Brotherhood of Steel outpost, then the Brotherhood of Steel would turn on you.
And they would never. I don't think they ever at that point turned around from that point.
Yeah.
Even Operation Anchorage, if you made certain choices, they kicked you out and you weren't allowed back, right?
I don't remember.
I think so. I think if you did certain things in Operation Anchorage, they were like, get out and don't come back.
I think so. I think it had something to do with the vault.
I think so.
Like with the T-81B armor in it.
Yeah, but they just don't have that anymore. I'm really not excited for this game. I feel like it was pitched the same way Skyrim was. When Skyrim was revealed, and I think it was 2011 at E3. You see that mountain over there? You can climb that. No, you freaking can't, Todd Howard.
Yeah, you can.
You can jank the jump and hope to God you make it, but no, you ain't climbing that mountain. There's no climbing involved. There is hoping to God that collision detection doesn't fall through in your jank game and I fall through the crevice of the earth into Hades.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know, I always thought it was when I got my PC many years ago and played Skyrim on it. I always thought it was interesting if you no clip out of the area and you fall through the map, it just respawns you where you were standing when you fell out.
That's
Yeah.
All right, listen. We can't make our game perfect, so we've got to find a solution. Well, we can just set a respawn point if you fall certain areas.
Like, bruh.
Like, you know about it. You know that this is an issue with your game, so you create a loophole to not make it as severe, but it's still a thing that you know about.
Gosh, I feel like they were working hand in hand with Treyarch and the guys that do Modern Warfare,
Infinity Ward. Yeah.
And they're like, "How do you fix your game?" They just look at him. We don't
fix. What?
We don't fix things.
We Mass Effect 3 it. We offer the other endings as DLC.
Oh my gosh. I think that's am I the only one, like it didn't dawn on me until after I played Inquisition. Like I finally got all the way through Inquisition. Like you remember like Mass Effect 1 where your choices actually mattered.
Oh my god, it was so good. The choices and decisions in that game, yeah.
Yeah, and then I played through Inquisition and there's a really big choice in the game that I'm not going to get into. Like it's arguably a life-changing decision and nothing because like there's like 2 scenes where it's important and then nothing is done about it after that.
Really?
I hate
that. These are minor things.
Now, Dakota, did you say you hate that?
No, I hate that in games when you have like these actual decisions that would affect the entire game, how characters interact with you, and then just like, oh, cool.
Yeah, nothing happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that.
I'm trying to think of the most memorable instance where that's happened in a video game for me.
Where it didn't matter?
Yeah, where just no consequence. No consequence at all.
I can't personally think of one.
I can't think of one. Go ahead, Storm.
You know, going back to Mass Effect 3, I watched a video on it forever ago, and it really kind of changed my mind about Mass Effect 3's ending. When you look at it in the grand scheme of things, the entirety of Mass Effect 3 is the ending of the Mass Effect, like the entire saga. Now you could argue, you know, the three different flavors of sherbet at the end, but that's really all the culminations of decisions you've made through the first 2 games really coming to a head in that game.
Yeah.
Like, think about Rex. You made that decision at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Whether or not you were going to be able to Paragon or Renegade Rex into helping you on Vermeer. And that affected what happened in Mass Effect 3. So that's sort of the opinion I hold of Mass Effect 3 now that I've replayed through the Legendary Edition for the umpteenth millionth time. When you go into Mass Effect 3 with this is the climax, the conclusion of the Mass Effect story, not so much the end of the game, but the entire game is the end of the Mass Effect story.
Yeah.
I think that really shines a better light. Like I see where they were going for, and it was just met with no one really
wanted that ending.
Yeah, no one really wanted that way. Like artistically, it was an artistic decision. I understand why that artistic decision was made. I respect that they stuck to their proverbial guns when they released it, but the fans just didn't want it. They didn't want it that way.
No, I don't think anybody really wanted it that way. But I don't. Going back to Bethesda on this, I feel like I see what you're saying. Like it had to be the culmination of everything that you had done up to that point. Like we had to end it here, and we have to think of a way to where it's over. You know, we want to go away from Shepard's story. We want to do something else. So that makes sense. But talking about bad endings, Skyrim was a god awful ending, and there's no
Gosh.
there's no justification for that. I don't feel like.
the the Oblivion Crisis was so much
Oh
better
my
than the Return of
God.
the Dragons.
The
The
Oblivion
dragons
Crisis was
just got in
incredible.
the way of normal gameplay.
Oh, look, a distraction.
I mean, you can make the same argument about the Oblivion Gates, but I mean, you could look at the Oblivion Gate and go, "Yeah, I'm not going over there," and just walk
Yeah.
away from it.
True, very true. The dragons kind of hunted you down at that point.
I want to say one thing about the Mass Effect games.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it would have really helped them out in the end of the third one if you had more crucial decisions throughout the other ones, and say you had to have save data where you play the other ones to really shape the story in the third one.
Oh, like you were allowed to have more agency if you had
Seriously.
played the earlier two.
Serious branching paths
Mm-hmm.
to give you your ending in the third one. I think that would have helped them out a lot.
I think that's a total EA play to get you to buy the first two games, and that's why you should be in marketing. That's what I think. I think you just gave me another reason to have to buy more video games made by EA, and that's brilliant. Like, absolutely brilliant.
If you really want to think about it, they sort of did the same thing with Dragon Age.
With Inquisition?
Yes,
That's not true.
and two
That's
to a
not true.
lesser extent. Two to a lesser extent.
When Dragon Age Inquisition, before it was released in 2014, you could actually go online and pick every single decision that you made from Origins all the way up into the point of Inquisition, and then save it online and load it in the game through your EA servers, and it would have all your decisions made.
Huh. I did not know that.
Super clever.
That's pretty badass.
That's awesome. I loved it. You didn't even have to play the game. It would ask you questions, and then you could Wikipedia it and figure out what you wanted to do, and then pick it. It was
nice.
a brilliant way to do that. Inquisition, that was probably the smartest way to get that done, because they couldn't take last-gen consoles and transfer your data. I don't think cloud was really a thing back then, so they had you do it through the internet. And I was like, heck yeah, I loved that, because you get to relive all those little quests that you did in Origins and Dragon Age 2.
I loved Origins.
Origins is the best.
Yeah.
Absolute best. 100%. And speaking of Dragon Age, if you haven't checked out, Dreadwolf has had its first teaser, little announcement that they did. If you want to check out Dragon Age Dreadwolf. But yeah, going back to the Bethesda Starfield thing, I am not going to buy this game. I do not think this is going to be worth $60. I don't think it's going to be worth $40. I think this is going to.
I don't think it's going to be worth $20.
I don't think it. I would think it's going to be a glitchy, buggy mess on launch, and then the community is going to clean it up, and that disgusts me.
That's sort of Bethesda's current marketing scheme. Here's this.
It blows my mind, boggles my mind that people don't see this and are like, "Wow, that's dirty."
Now they definitely did with Fallout 76. I'll say that.
They saw their true colors of Fallout 76. Fallout 76 was an experiment, and I understand you do an experiment and it went wrong. It was the collector's edition that really just blew me away with, oh my God, how could you do this to people? Did you guys hear about that?
Oh, yeah, the bags?
The bags. You were supposed to get this very nice canvas. It was like a carry bag, wasn't it, Storm?
Yeah, it was like a kind of like a duffel bag.
Yeah, like
an army backpack or something like that.
Yeah, it's like an army backpack. It looked very cool. It didn't look huge, just a simple canvas army backpack. They gave them plastic bags.
What?
Yeah.
What
yeah,
was
effectively
like grocery
plastic bags.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not grocery bags, but
grocery bags.
Like your janky something you'd send your kid to school with and not expected to make it the year.
Like a lunchbox.
Kinda.
Mm-hmm. It was total ripoff.
Wasn't there a class action lawsuit over that?
I think there was. I'm pretty sure they lost. But
They
either had to like send out the actual promised bags or provide the money to the monetary equivalent of the bag.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Bethesda's been doing people dirty for the past decade. With the Skyrim re-releases, they had one for Alexa, they had the VR that was awful. I think it's about time. I think people are aware of what Bethesda is, and I think...
Oh my gosh. Not to interrupt you, but I see the bag.
Yeah.
That okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, tell
Damn,
everyone.
that's all I got. That's all I gotta say.
Just dang.
It's just a shitty plastic nylon looking piece of
Yeah.
crap
And
bag.
I think they paid like $160 for that collector's edition. The 120 or 160.
It was something like that. It was
That's
pricey.
50 cents. That's 50 cents at a dollar store.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they did them dirty.
It looks badass in the actual Fallout picture for the collector's edition.
Yeah, it looked incredible.
It's not even the same bag. It's not even close. It's not even like they didn't even edit that bag. It's just not the same.
It didn't even edit the same thing.
It's you can tell it's made out of completely different material. Oh my goodness.
They did them
There's
dirty.
no way. Yeah, there's no way they would have won that lawsuit. There is no way.
But that's the company we're dealing with.
I would like to think that there were people in the jury or in the courtroom that had the same issue.
That ordered it and got the same thing and
Oh,
didn't let them
gosh.
know. That'd be so funny. I will say though, it's a real shame that from 06 to where we are now, Bethesda has fallen so far. 06
Oh,
is when
yeah, it's-
Oblivion was released, yeah.
It's pretty dismal.
It's
Really
sad,
disheartening.
because that was one of the greatest games of all time was Oblivion. Sank so many hours into it. And I still play it. I still play it on the PlayStation every now and then. I hop back in and play my little Argonian dude and smash some skulls. But I don't
I
know.
love it. I literally like when I got Skyrim for the PC, I got all of the Elder Scrolls games,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of ignored Skyrim for a little while and just went back and played Oblivion. I was like, hey, I can do this again.
It's so much fun. So much fun. But, well, maybe I doubt it, but maybe this will be the chance for Todd Howard to prove us wrong. You know,
It would be a nice change of pace.
it would be a
But-
pleasant surprise. What I'm worried about, though, is that people will be blinded by the hype and just still love this game and still give Bethesda money and still support this idea that you can release a crap game. That's the only thing that's really got me worried for the future of this game.
I would personally like to think that in their shareholder meeting, they literally had the discussion. We can invest money in developing and smoothing out this game and making it great, or we could save money and let the modders fix it.
Oh, you know they will.
I would like to think that's an actual discussion they had. I bet
Actually,
it was.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, haven't they hired some of their modders, like some of their modding community, like to actually develop the game or develop Bethesda games?
That would make sense.
I mean, that would be nice of them to do so.
'Cause I want to say it was like one of the really big name modders, like one of them that they hired on to work at their company.
I've never had a PC up until now, so I got no clue.
I like to meander around the Skyrim modding community and see what's going on, if it's still going on.
So many nude ones.
Of course, it's
Of course.
Of
It's-
course,
it's
you
an
would
Elder
know
Scrolls
that.
game.
It's Elder Scrolls video game. Yeah. There was this guy on YouTube. He used to post them all the time, and I was like, "Why is there so many naked mods?" I don't understand. I was gonna say something. I don't even remember what it was now.
You were hoping there was a Lady D mod for Skyrim.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It would be out of place. It's too much
I
beauty.
bet there is.
Too much beauty.
I'd almost be willing to bet money there is.
You know there is. You can probably play as her.
A preset, probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what I was gonna say. That's a shame. Anyway, that's all we got at the games we got to talk about today. So one thing I will mention that I did not get to find a video for is Nightingale. Look it up. It looks incredible. I just found it the other day. So check that out. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
It does not pay to mod for free.
It doesn't. That's true.
Do not support your game unless they give
Although
fun things to begin with.
although it may be good practice if that's the field you're going into.
There are better ways to practice. Don't let a company take advantage of you like that.
If you want to be a modder and get your name out there, focus on the smaller games that are starting to generate hype, and then the developers will be small enough they might get in contact with you, and then you can go from there.
If you are,
Or they'll
go ahead.
take the Nintendo approach and completely just we know how Nintendo is about their IPs.
Strangle it. Not strangle it, but just hold on to it forever. I will say, if you are a modder and you're interested in video game design, you don't have a PC, you can always look up Dreams on PlayStation. Dreams is a really powerful engine. Check that out. And a really wonderful indie designer. I haven't played a bad game, but the guy is Ben Esposito. I believe that's his name. He made Donut County. He's making another game that I just can't put my finger on it, but he's made a bunch of indie games and they're all really good. So Ben Esposito, I think that's what his name is. So check him out. All right, if we've got nothing else, gentlemen, I'm going to sign us off. Storm, thanks for being here. Dakota, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I wanted to throw in, because I forgot to say it at the beginning of the podcast, I'm going to have a new channel specifically dedicated for podcasting and podcasting content. It will be Side Quest Gaming. So I will probably maybe stream on here the podcast one more time, and then that'll be specifically on Side Quest Gaming. And then I'm going to do probably strictly Siege on YouTube.
So D&D will be staying on this channel?
D&D will be staying on this channel.
Okay.
Siege will be staying on this channel. Actually, no, I'm sorry. D&D will be going to Twitch.
Okay.
Oh.
I feel like there's a lot more... What's the word I'm looking for?
I didn't realize you had top surgery done.
Oof.
Ooh. I feel like Twitch's community is a lot more open to that kind of content. So I'm gonna go through there. I feel like it's a very long stream. I feel like Twitch is the place to be where that community can kind of be okay with listening to us chat. And I will transfer it to YouTube. I will transfer it to YouTube after I cut down some of the meat. But I feel like the Twitch community is a place we don't really have a foothold, so I'm going to go there.
That's true.
So, yeah. Side Quest Gaming. I haven't got the Twitch channel set up yet. And then Double Action will be Siege. And then if I do any reviews or playthroughs, I'm going to be on Twitch. So, or Let's Plays. If I'm doing any Let's Plays for reviews, they'll be on Twitch. So.
Okay.
And then, of course, always you can check out... Storm, do you have a channel? You were talking about it, weren't you?
I have my YouTube channel, but I don't really do anything with it.
Okay, I
I
didn't
have
know.
a Twitch channel, and I played Demon Souls one time, but...
Okay. I didn't know if you were starting anything, or... 'cause everybody is now.
No, yeah.
But Dakota's...
I'm kind of...
Good.
I'm not exactly, like, super passionate about a particular video game.
Mhm.
Like Dakota has Siege.
Yeah.
I play Siege with Dakota. More or less, I scream and panic and clutch out rounds. Apparently, is my skill set. I don't know. I would like to do some D&D stuff, but all of my D&D everything is a jumbled mess of associative thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know. I might not. It depends on how much attention the D&D stuff gets, I guess. Maybe.
If you do, you'll get a free plug from me, so you can count on that. And then, of course, you can always
Yay.
check out Dakota. Thanks for being here. You can always check out Ratchet Gaming. He's got a fantastic channel. He's killing it. Literally, he shoots people in the head. He's a horrible human being. He calls me a Jew.
But there's always fan art. That's lovely.
You know, you got the give, you got the take.
And we have Dungeons and Dragons tomorrow
At 11? 11:30?
11 Eastern Standard Time, 11 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time. All right, be there. Join us for that. It is the culmination of years of hard work and dedication to Dakota's campaign. It ends tomorrow.
Will the players live? Will they die? Will their ignorance and just general no knowledge, IRL and in-game, be their demise? Find out tomorrow in Dungeons and Dragons.
I play a midget.
Gosh. And then we probably the Saturday following we'll have my session 0, which will probably be pretty boring to stream, in all honesty.
It'd be fun.
Because we're basically just going to go over some world stuff and what your characters will definitely know.
It would be needed for the lore, like people following along the story, though.
Listen, we'll make it interesting.
Well, we might get into some of that in the interview, depending on how that goes, and when we do that.
Yeah, we got to schedule that again. Yeah.
Yep. I'm off work Sunday.
I am too.
I'm also off work Sunday.
Okay, well, hey, we might
What
do
a
it Sunday.
coincidence.
Hey, haha. Sunday is Father's Day. Don't forget.
Don't really care.
Yeah. Mhm. All right, gentlemen. That is it for me. Everyone tuning in, I want to say thank you for being here. I want to say I appreciate the privilege of your time. I know you got a busy schedule. I know you guys got a lot going on. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. I am Double Action Gaming. I want to say thank you again to our guests, and I am going to sign off.